On the 7th of May 1997, the world premiere of Luc Besson's The Fifth Element took place at the Cannes Film Festival. The film had a budget of $90 million. At the time of its release, it was the highest budget film ever made beyond Hollywood, as well as one of the most expensive ones in terms of special effects. The fascinating love story of the flying cab driver and the red-headed savior of the world still attracts the audience to this very day. Luc Besson began writing the script for The Fifth Element back when he was only 16 years old. In 1991, the director had a 400-page script, and the Gaumont Film Company became interested in the project. Originally, Luc planned to make 3 films, but eventually the scripts for 3 movies were compressed into one. Then, together with Robert Mark Kamen, they reduced it to 120 pages. Preparations for the film production took about a year. To embody the motley group of characters on the screen, they invited the same motley cast. The biggest stars of the project, Bruce Willis and Gary Oldman, got into the film without any auditions and agreed to shoot, as they said, for friendship. Willis, who turned down the role of Dallas back in '92, just a few years later offered Besson himself as a candidate, because he liked the risky script. And besides, he was used to playing the problematic action hero since the times of John McClane. Moreover, the actor offered to cut his own fee in exchange for a percentage of future profits. Oldman, meanwhile, became friends with the energetic Frenchman back on Lyon. Playing the main villain for the second time in the Friends film was a usual thing for the actor, although he later complained that wearing an extravagant Zorg's rubber suit was a real torture. About 300 actresses auditioned for the role of Li Lu. Among them was Elizabeth Berkley. In one interview, she said that she almost got the role. Perhaps Besson did not take her because of the fact that in 1995 she starred in the scandalous film Showgirls and received 2 Golden Raspberries for this work. Milla Jovovich's first audition did not go well. Besson said that her makeup was too bright. Besides, she was visibly nervous. Milla was wearing green eyeshadow, a mini dress, and white patent platform shoes. Besson felt that this wasn't exactly what he wanted. A few weeks later, they met by chance at the hotel by the pool. Luc saw a barefoot Milla in a white t-shirt and casual jeans. She wasn't wearing any makeup, and her hair was gathered in a ponytail. The director decided to invite her to audition again, which she successfully passed. The actress who was supposed to play the alien singer left the set at the last minute. There was no time to look for a replacement, so the role of the diva was played by Besson's wife, May Wen. But during filming, the spouses separated, because the director spent a lot of time with Jovovich and fell in love with her. The marriage broke up. Luc and Milla soon got married and lived together for 2 years. Filming began in January 1996. Besson invited his regular crew to the project, but there were no suitable locations in Paris. Most of the filming took place at the famous British studio Pinewood in Ivor Heath, not far from London, where the team rented 7 pavilions. The few on-location scenes were shot in the deserts of Mauritania and on an Icelandic glacier. Another suitable location was found in the British capital. In Royal Opera House at Covent Garden, they shot the opera episodes. Jean-Paul Gaultier was invited as costume designer. He designed each of the 900 costumes worn by the extras in the scenes on Planet Floston and personally checked them every morning. Futuristic landscapes of the city of the future were created partly using computer graphics and animations and partly using miniatures. One example of the mixed techniques used by the visual effects specialists at Digital Domain are the views of New York City, where the flying cars were CGI, except for Corbin Dallas's cab, which was built life-size, and the skyscrapers were 1:24 scale models. Li Lu jumps from one of these 6-meter models in one of the most exciting scenes of the film. When filming began, the makeup artists decided to change the actress's hair from its natural color to orange. However, because her hair had to be dyed regularly to maintain the bright color, Miller's hair quickly became damaged and brittle. Eventually, an orange wig was created, which the actress wore until the end of the filming. The explosion in the main hull of the cruise ship went down in history as the most powerful indoor explosion in the film production. The episode was filmed in the legendary Pavilion 007. In addition to the Bond films, it was used to film Alien, Mission Impossible, and Over the Horizon. Flamethrowers, dummies, spring-loaded mechanisms, and a huge variety of explosives were used to make the scene. The set was literally mined, while firemen and fire extinguishers surrounded the sets on all sides. One of the most memorable details of the film was the Zorg's ZF-1 pod weapon. It combined a machine gun, flamethrower, grenade launcher, arrow thrower, and many other functions. Several copies of the gun were made for the film. Some were just lightweight plastic replicas, while the Soviet AKS-47U guns were used in the shooting scenes. The Alien diva Plava Laguna's aria was sung by the opera singer Inva Mula. Besson wanted the range of the aria to go beyond the capabilities of the human voice, so some digital processing was used in the place where the singer hits the highest note. All this was supplemented by the iconic soundtrack by Eric Serra, without which it's impossible to imagine the world of The Fifth Element. It's interesting to know that Besson demanded that the shooting of the episodes took place during daylight hours, because he hated the sci-fi films with the action taking place in dark corridors of spaceships or on dimly lit planets. The language Leeloo speaks was invented by Luc Besson himself. It contains about 400 words. Jovovich was perfecting this language during her breaks, talking to the director and making the whole crew excited. In addition, Besson intended to invite Prince Rogers Nelson to play the role of Ruby. Designer Jean-Paul Gaultier drew many sketches specifically for the musician. But the prince had too busy a schedule. Besides, Gaultier's costume seemed too feminine, and so he refused. So the role was given to the actor Chris Tucker, and he pulled it off perfectly. Besson's world of the future, though suffering from hostility, poverty and overpopulation, is still full of bright colors and charming details, like a flying Chinese snack bar in the form of a ship, designed by the famous comic book artist Jean Giraud, who worked together with Jean-Claude Meznier. They also painted the aliens, whose image Besson chose from dozens of variations. The team of Nick Dudman, the makeup artist, was responsible for the embodiment of the Mandoshuans, Mangalores and other aliens. The Mangalores who caused the massacre at Floston Paradise wore combat goggles. This was invented to hide the eyes of the actors, and also to economize on makeup around the eyes and contact lenses. The Fifth Element became the most expensive French film of all time, and as of that moment was the highest-grossing French film of all time, grossing $263 million at the box office worldwide. Critics' reaction to Besson's film was mixed. Some loved the film, others considered it bland and called it one of the worst pictures of the year. The film received only one Oscar nomination, for Best Sound Editing. As for ordinary viewers, The Fifth Element quickly won their hearts. And that is all for today. Subscribe and don't forget about likes and comments. See you next time!